I would tell you that a great homeschool year starts with your solid foundation of planning. Having everything in its proper place before you get started can really set you up for success. This year, that's just not possible for us. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna. If you are new here, we're a homeschooling family of 4. We're entering our 10th year of homeschooling, and I will have a 9th grader and a 5th grader, both of which who have been homeschooled all the way up. Today, we are going to talk about planning our homeschool year, planning for the entire year. And well, honestly, it's different than normal. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in my comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Hair, I changed it. If you don't follow my socials, I was bored. I needed change, and I am loving this like peekaboo rainbow that I did. If you want to know what I did or how I did it, let me know and I will throw those details in for you. But please remember, yes, I did it myself. Yes, I did it in my bathroom. But I have a license to do this and I have no fear in hair changes or hair loss or making wild and dramatic moves that risk genuinely the integrity of my hair. So there's that. Other than that, I love it. It's fabulous. It's my favorite. And I think it'll be really fun, especially as it kind of like pastels out. But I did this in one day and I'm pretty stinking excited about it. So anyways, that's not what we're talking about here today, but I'm a huge fan and I love it. What we are talking about today is planning our year. If you've been here for a number of years, you know that this is usually the time of year when I sit down and I've got my calendars and I know how many weeks. And the way that I plan my year usually goes that I figure out how many of every single thing we have, how many things we are doing, and how that fits in. And I simply just do it, like math it out. I throw in a couple of extra buffer weeks so that we can be lazy or slack off or pick up or whatever. If anything runs long, then I've got some buffer weeks. I can't do that this year. I cannot. I actually do not even know when we are starting our homeschool year. So I am going to plan my full year in this video as I normally do, but as with everything this year, it is different. My process has changed and I can either fight it and I can stress about it, or I can embrace it and I can communicate that to you because, well, I'm not alone. I know you're feeling it. I know you've experienced it, or you will along your homeschool journey. Things change. Right? We change, we evolve, we grow. Our kids aren't the same as they were last year and the year before. And because of that, by nature, by necessity, and by absolute glorious grace, we change. Things grow. We pivot. We alternate. We start new. We start fresh. We start with what we know works and we go from there. So I am in a very, what I'm going to call amazing position to know what I usually do, to have a usual that I usually do, and to be smart enough to recognize that this year is not that. Maybe next year, but certainly not this year. So let's talk about a few of the things that I do know, what I do know, and what I'm going to do. I do know that I'm going to tackle this year digital planning. That'll be the next video that you see. I do know that I have access to calendars, which is great. I do know that we're tackling big things. And I do know that regardless of what I don't know, school is going to need to fit into certain parameters as far as time goes and as far as scheduling goes. So I'm going to start with what I do know. And what that is a calendar. Okay, I'm gonna get out a calendar. We're gonna go over it here in just a minute. What I don't know yet. I do not know when we are starting. Why? I do not know when we are starting because I don't even know what all we're actually doing this summer. We're going to try to get in a vacation somewhere in this chunk of time, which will be wonderful. It will be very restorative. We already know where we will go, and it will be to a family property. So we don't have to worry about really the logistics of timing can be as flexible as they need to be. Now, why do the logistics of timing need to be flexible, Shauna? Because my big kid is doing stuff. What is she doing? So much. When is she doing it? Well, I know some of it. And if she does the other thing, I know that too. But what I don't know yet at the time of filming this video is if that other thing is happening. If that other thing is happening, then that pushes us back on a vacation a week. That pushes us back on a vacation a week, which is what I'm going to assume is happening. Then we are going to schedule based on the assumption that that thing is happening. However, that thing may not happen, in which case we will just start a week earlier. Either way, I usually start the first week of August, and we are talking about third week of August. Best case scenario. Second week of August. So, yeah, that is a little stressful for me because I like to have lots of extra time. I like to get going and I like to have it all figured out. But again, that's not this year. It just isn't. I do know that we have a lot of big stuff. I do not yet know, because I am not going to know until I am in planning each one of those things, how big they are, how many lessons they are, how much it is actually going to require of us. And then I know that best laid plans, best of intentions, I will plan it one way and then we will actually use and incorporate it another way. And I will share that every step of the way. So rest assured there. Now I will be sharing more in July, those specific pieces, because I need to do that, but I haven't done that yet. I, right now, am just going to show you how I'm planning our entire year as far as the calendar base. Now, what I normally do is I know things like I used to plan for 30 weeks of school. This past year, I planned for 32 weeks of actual school content because we had a lot of things. And then I will plan on the calendar 34 to 36 weeks of school time so that we can adjust or slow or speed or drop or vacation or whatever as required. So we're going to pop over and I'm going to show you me filming our whole year. That being literally calendar parameters on the year, because I'm also at the place where I need to get these walls put up, because if I don't get these walls put up, then they are very flexible, they are very bendy, and they will start to fall by the wayside. So I personally need the plan. Even if it is the first of many plans that are going to happen and I don't have all of the info for all of the plans, this is the first place I need to start, and I need to start right now. So let's go. Okay, so here I am in my spreadsheet. Well, not a spreadsheet, on my Canva workspace. I'm going to try to do this digitally so that I can stick with my digital plan. That's the goal. I am going to take off my bracelets because they're very loud on my desk. A few things that I know. I know that we are going to start August 17th or the week before. I don't know yet, but the latest, August 17th. I know that I would like to have 34 weeks. And I would like that to be 17 and 17. If I can squeeze a few more into the back end, I think that'd be good. I think right now that is the only information that I need. No, I will not take a fall vacation as of right now after August. So spring, I don't know if you want to call that summer or fall. It doesn't really matter, but it is what it is. We will take the week of Thanksgiving and 2 weeks at Christmas. We will probably do, let's call it a spring break and a spring vacation. So these are things I know right now. As far as I know right now, we don't have any reason to be done early May or mid-May. There is currently no end goal on the ends of the year. So that is what I'm going to factor in. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab a highlighter. I've never done this, so you guys give me patience. Ooh, let's do like purple. I like this color. Let's do this purple. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to start 17th. Look how cute it is. Okay, it's too big. I don't like it. Too big, too big. Wait, drop it at 20. Okay, there we go. Is that better? Yeah, okay, 1. We'll do this one. Let me start over here. Actually, I'll probably take that day off, but that's okay. And I'm just going to run through and highlight the weeks, and then I'm going to count them. I know, it's really crazy. This is not the cutest, but it's okay. This would be better on my planner, I think. Okay, right now I'm going to pause and count. Okay, so I know we can't start before this date. No, I know we'll start at least by this date. So that's, let me change my color. That would probably be nice. Make it green for go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so I can eke out 17 weeks in the fall. That's pretty good. Now let's come over here. We're going to recount. We're going to start again. So I've got 17 in the fall. 1, 2, 3. Now look, I've got 2 weeks that are empty. Somewhere in here in the January, February time, I want to take a big vacation. It will be like 10 days, but we will figure that out when it comes. So I'm just leaving the space open for planning purposes for my brain. Okay, so let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, spring break, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And that tells me, sweet friends, we are going into May. 14, 15, 16, 17. We're going to go the full week of May, or the full month of May, which I don't love, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So if we can squeeze any more out, this is just what I'm planning. I'm going to keep open as best I can for planning purposes. I've got 17 and 17. That's 34 weeks. It's the best I can do. We'll go as fast as we can. We're going to, well, I mean, no, that's not true. We're going to do our best and we're going to go from there. We're going to be consistent and we're going to get things done. We are going to be efficient, and I will let you know, these are the dates that I am going to hard wall in for our school year. Right there is going to be our start, and right there will be our end. That is the goal. Okay. We're going to do our best. We're going to see if it works, and we will, well, I'll be back to let you know if I can get things down to 17 weeks and 17 weeks per semester. I honestly don't even know, but I'll keep you posted as I'm planning. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down. Please hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. And I would love to hear, how do you start planning? Do you start with the pieces and then plug in the dates? I have to start with the dates. Increasingly so, it is important for me to start with the dates because of the things by nature, what my kids are involved in. It just is what it just is, and this is my life. So that is what works best for us. It is born a bit out of necessity, but also because it does, like I said, work for us. So I'm going to do it. I also think that this was just, for lack of a better term, inevitable. I have always been, if you've watched my channel from the start of me sharing here, it has always gone A, B, C, D, and it's always been A, B, C, D, and this year is like C, D, B, A, and that's okay. And I think it was important for a couple of reasons. One, I can relate to those people who don't do it the same way every year now. I sure can. I also feel like I'm falling back on some of my systems that do help me stay on track. And I really feel like all of those systems and all of that pressure is really going to be put to the test this year. And I'm glad that it's this year and not next year, because we're going into high school. We are going to our last grade of elementary. In some places, it is actually, 5th grade is actually considered middle school. So it is important that we kind of get this under our belts now. I know that because I have been so consistent in our scheduling and all of the things along the way for so many years, it is allowing me in this wild phase, this wild year of uncertainty, to have my feet on solid ground. So I am very thankful for that. And we are just learning how best to pivot, how to know when to pivot, and how to stay on track along the way. And I think it's great that I'm being provided an opportunity to live, share, and communicate that to you firsthand, because as we talked about recently, it's just different this year, and that's okay. But maybe we just all need to remember that you can still find great paths to success by falling back on what you do know, by being able to schedule and plan and work what you do know, what you do have in the place that you have it, in the mental space where you are. And we can still find success along the way. Guys, thanks for coming back. Like I said, please drop down. Let me know, where are you at? How's it going? How do you plan? And together, by sharing and hopefully by coming here and sharing with you what my real life is looking like, what my real life is feeling like, and what our actual real life homeschool is trending like, together, we can continue to make everyday magic.